Huh.
because as interest rates go up, we owe more money on that debt. The country does. So, say if currently right now, just if we're at $30 trillion in debt and our interest rates were 10% on those, they'd be paying $3 trillion a year just for interest on those loans, right?
Wow.
And that's just interest payments to make sure that that money is not going to default.
Yeah.
And usually, treasury debt, which is debt issued by our government, is thought of to be like the least risky investment option. It's actually less risky than cash. People don't understand that because the concept is if you have $100,000 in the bank and you leave it there for 30 years, that hundred same it's the same concept of inflation, right? It's like that $100,000 in 30 years is not going to buy you what $100,000 bought today, right? So you don't see your money fluctuate. Still says 100,000, and you might be getting a little bit of interest on it if you're just
Right.
in a savings account. Not talking about
Right.
money market or anything with higher
Yeah.
rates, but if you're in a savings account, you hold it in there for 30 years, even 5 years, right? You're making less money on it. Your purchasing power goes down by whatever inflation is every single year. So if it's
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5%, that's how much your purchasing power goes down. So it still says 100 grand, but you
Yeah.
just can buy less and less with it. So with
Yeah.
treasuries, it's thought of as, the government, they're backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, right? So for us as investors, we see that as a safe haven, right? It's better than keeping it in cash because there's no, you're at least you're keeping up with inflation and hopefully a little bit more. Well, the problem is now you have this exorbitant amount of debt that the government keeps spending. So they're always hitting these budget deficits, right? And they always have to keep raising the budget, raising the budget, raising the budget, and they have problems doing that, sometimes getting some of that stuff passed. Well, really what we've been doing over the years is just saying, okay, let's turn a blind eye and keep raising the budget, keep raising the budget. And don't worry, I'm getting into tariffs here, but I'm kind of laying down the background of
Yeah.
like
No, I get
why.
it. And now, real quick, before you keep going, when you're saying we kept raising the budget, we kept raising the budget, it sounds like you're not saying this is a single administration's issue. It sounds like this is over time.
Oh yeah, you're
This
talking,
is this is nonpartisan. This is Democrats did it, Republicans did it. This is just the way of the United States and how they operate in this world on this planet.
Yeah, I mean, so since Bill Clinton, essentially, like Bill Clinton, we had one of the best fiscal policies, according to history, right, at the time.
Okay.
And let's just keep Clinton forward, right?
Okay.
We've continued to just raise our budget, and a lot of that goes to,
War.
well, a lot of it did go to, yeah, you're right. It went to war, right? I mean, that was a big problem. He spent 20 years in the Middle East, right?
Uh,
And that was very expensive. But a lot of it too, we started creating a lot of these like social justice type of, things that we wanted as a country to help people out within our own country, but also outside of the country.
huh.
And so we've just continuously raised the budget, and we've taken deficits on shipping and the difference between trade on countries and things like that. And so
And give
it's
me an example of maybe like a domestic and an international social justice um add-on that
it,
we did that the government ended up taking on the debt for that particular thing.
well, that's the thing is it's reality is it's our tax dollars. It's not really the government creates it. These laws get passed. But for instance, like one area we could think of would probably be farming. I mean, there's more, but let's think about farming, for instance.
Okay.
There's a lot of subsidies that are given to farmers, right? Just because farming's hard. I mean, they
Mhm.
aren't necessarily making a lot of money off of it. So what the government does is they'll set ceilings and floors on prices. Like you can't sell it for, you can't sell it for less than this, can't sell it for more than that. And if there's like a problem, say for instance, I mean, obviously eggs are a big deal right now, right? Everyone's like, there's apparently everyone's hoarding eggs. I just read that this morning. Right, and they're expensive. I understand it.
Yeah, all these
Uh,
luxurious chickens running around.
right, yeah, and well, I think what it really comes down to is the USDA was going around telling people to kill their chickens because they had bird flu, and
Huh.
apparently there's reports that some people actually didn't have bird flu. They killed their chickens. And so there's a shortage, right? And a shortage gets people. Remember COVID? Everyone wanted toilet paper. It's kind of the
Yes.
same situation
Yes.
with
Yes.
eggs right now. And eggs are kind of expensive at the moment. And it seems that they might actually keep going up in price. So people are hoarding eggs, which is funny because it's a perishable. How long are you going to be able to keep that? But just let's just say like eggs, right? So the government's going to say, hey, look, we're going to put a ceiling on these, and they're like, hey, okay, well, we'll put a ceiling on them, but we actually, instead of $7 for 18 eggs, we need to sell these for 10 just to break even. So the
Mhm.
government's saying, okay, well, we're going to give you $3 per whatever you sell on. It could be like a tax credit, or it could be just it could be something that they're helping them kind of meet the middle on it. So that's one way, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of things out there. Like, I mean, during COVID, during the whole issue that was going on with people coming into the U.S., illegally through the southern border,
Yeah.
which I don't want to debate whether that's right or wrong. It's not the point, but the point here is when they do come in, they're handing them EBT cards with cash on them, and that money allows them to go get food, which rightfully so. I mean, if they're coming here, we should be able to help them with food at least, right? But that's a budget
Not everybody
issue.
thinks that, but I would agree. But
True,
not everybody. Some people are like, let them starve. That'll make them go back home faster. But
right? We don't want to see starving in the street. It's going to be
right, right.
it'll be even worse for us, right? But whether they should be here or not is really that's obviously up for everyone's debate. I don't debate that, but the point is
Yeah.
that's money coming out of our federal budget, right? For to help people come in and give them resources and food. So there's just been a ton of them, right? Internationally, we do a lot of stuff. Like I guess one of the big ones that came out recently was the USAID,
Mm,
USAID division. I'd never heard of it before until this
yeah.
whole situation went down.
Right.
But think of it from them, like they have been told where they're supposed to go and where they're supposed to help, and they, as a organization, has decided to branch out from there.